Yeah, the world. Where is it going to? What is it coming to? Many thoughts in my mind, and so are the thoughts in the minds of many others. So, what to think about what's going on? We see a lot of news, hear a lot of different stories, and they all like show us back to the situation that something definitely is changing. The world economy, the trade system, the globalism, all that under big changes. New nations are gonna maybe arise as big and strong. Militarization in Europe, and we have in the United States a lot of trouble brewing for and against the sitting president, and a lot of troublesome situations with the big companies in the world and how they should deal with this uh, unsettling trade situation. What's going to become of the people in different countries and the money and whatever positions that we have. Some will gain a lot out of speculating in the market, having inside knowledge and having help from the elite. And we are already in a situation where billionaires has run away from the people and really getting richer and richer. And so the system is being geared to once more give people that kind of knowledge that will help them win on the stock markets on because they have inside knowledge and they can have that access, and they do not care about the media anymore, the criticism or the demonstrations. And that won't hold. We know that every reaction has an equal and opposite reaction to it. So that won't hold. We know that from world history. But why are we here and where are we going? They say there are three ways this could go. One is that's like a parenthesis, a period in history where we have something crazy going on, and then it will settle down back to the old story because the United States is the biggest power on earth, both militarily and economically, culturally, with big influence, and has a lot to say and do to change the current situation. Others would also say that, well, this is a new change that's not going to go back. The other big countries are going to oppose the United States so much, China, Russia, and the BRICS, and so maybe also parts of the Middle East. There will be some African movements and a lot of trouble going on also in the neighborhood of the United States, south of the border with the Mexicans and other countries who will be enticed and maybe yeah, trying to change the world order as it is today. And so we can see Europe is militarizing, and that is an omen of war, definitely. Because, well, I know they are saying, okay, we're going to militarize because that's the way to show that we are ready for war. And if you want to prevent war, you have to show you're ready for it. But, okay, let's say that this is the scenario. They are in the same time getting powerful and united, centralized. They need a stronger government than it is now. They need a stronger way of dealing with the situation. You cannot go on with this commission and I don't know how many hundred voices in the European Parliament and another hundred or thousand voices on behalf of the people. And it's a big mess, that kind of democracy, layers by layers. You have to make it more centralized, more effective in order to work. And so you will get the European Union as a strong power emerging from this. This could be a possibility. And the United States withdrawing in itself and trying to use that protectionism or whatever to change the game and go away, get a bit away from the scene in the world. And others again say, no, this is a whole transformation of the world system in a total new way that we haven't seen before. Some call it the NRX generation, the new revolutionary X people behind this, very close friends with some of the people in power right now. And some of them want a new kind of feudal system. I've had a talk about that earlier. You can look it up, NRX. It's really something that can be concerning. But it's not only from the United States that it's floating, but also from places around the world where big companies, conglomerates, and multinational companies with enormous influence beyond borders and beyond the reach of the states and the nations they are working in. They will become the overpower because all nations are in debt. They are all indebted to the IMF, and they have big trouble keeping, well, paying back. So at one time or another, it's all kind of slavery to those who really owe the money and sit with it. And who is that? It's like some kind of shadowy governments and people we do not really see and not really appear to the public. Could that be that kind of transformation we're going to see now, where there is a new kind of power emerging somewhere with that central way of looking at it, and where the robots, the AI, and the panopticon, the way of like observing people, as that Irving Goffman, the socialist, he said, a way of observing people, not knowing whether they are observed or not. You feel you are under surveillance all the time, and something can come along showing you that you are truly under surveillance, and so you keep your mouth shut and you keep your business to yourself if you have a business at that time. And so it's a kind of a new situation altogether. So there are these three possibilities out of this that can be emerging. We are following, everybody is following and looking where this is going. The new countries that could arise on the second possibility is India. Many people are looking to India as a new big power. The same they are doing with China. They say, yeah, China has big troubles with its economy, but it still can influence world and global powers and economic shifts, especially if it goes totally wrong in the United States and Europe is not ready to take over. It could also give the Russians blood on the tooth, as they say, wanting more and wanting to invade and get more out of the situation in Ukraine, and then also Europe, and then thereby shifting gears to go in a more critical situation with the European Union. You never know. This could also happen. We could also see some countries emerging from outside the sphere of influence. Some places we have not really noticed or really thinking about, in some place in the Middle East and Africa. There could be some preparations for that. Imagine those kind of hired soldiers, private companies that can get thousands and thousands of hired soldiers from Africa, putting them into war. And so they can do with private contracts in Europe and in Asia as well. So it's if these companies, on the third option, if these companies are going to rule, they will need such kind of protection and soldiers and working mechanism around them. So where are we going? And back to the first option, that it is a parenthesis. It's just kind of 2-3 years with a crazy way of doing things, and so we will move on. We are following, all of us, and we can see markets are now regaining. The gold is going up, and the crash that happened on the day Trump announced the tariff was maybe all a kind of a plan to get some stocks down, they say, so they could earn money. And some of his closest friend he met with said, well, congratulations, you've just won so much and so much and so much. So it's like giving a general the keys to the arsenal. That's how it is giving what can you say, a tradesman who's only looking to his own trade the keys of a trade nation. Of course, he will use it to the end, especially if he, as we can hear from Bernie Sanders, going beyond the limits of both constitution, people's rights, and whatever is beneath him. And so it's a big shift. And with USA out of the picture, or a kind of civil war erupting there, they will lose the moment and momentum. And so the European Union is working hard to take over, but will they? Will they have the time? Putin is ready. You have the Chinese, then you have the Middle East, and that is a power people should look to, because at one point or another they won't be able to keep the Middle East separated. All these situations that they are in, and they will get more together, and they will bring their power out to real world, and it will become the third major power in the world. But I think India could be more possible as a way of looking at this? Well, this is just a reflection, sending it out to the world or whoever could be listening, if there is anyone. And others have also reflections. I wish there could be like a debate forum where we could sit and talk about this, because many people can be concerned and would like to have small groups. And we should all have small groups of friends where we can talk. I have, of course, my own friends. But if we are online and people feel, well, we need to discuss this, it's very important to be able to look at the perspectives and how things are developing just underneath us. If you want to follow some of those persons who are really good in the media picture, you can easily find them because they are promoted on YouTube and other places. But I like John Mersheimer, Jeffrey Sachs, and the historian Neil Ferguson, as three suggestions that are talking about recent events. If you want a more culture aspect, you can look at some other influencers and people from political background also giving these analyses. Yeah, let's see where it's all going. Ray Dalio is also an active voice out there, and so we're going to see where all this is going. There are also economists, of course, very famous economists. Kenneth Gordon, I guess, is one of them, who's been criticizing this plan and how it's going to really give big troubles and fire back. Yeah, are we going to prepare for crisis? This is another question I'm having in my mind. And how do we prepare for crisis? Maybe I could talk about this in another place altogether.